Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Kafa. I'm glad you're here. This is going to be a powerful reading because I've been away for a while, and anytime I go away, there's 1,000 messages to be told at the same time. So buckle up. This is a Kafa theory, and this is where alchemy meets the tarot. I love the tarot, and I became a reader, but initially I'm an alchemist. So if you would like a reading by me, my email is in the description below. So let's get started with some of these messages that's been waiting for so long for y'all. The wait, right? Accountability is self-exorcism. Now, why is that so powerful? Anybody who you try to make accountable for something, you are literally trying to exorcise that demonic energy from inhabiting their vessel, their temple. That energy that's within them, things work through us. It's not just our intention. Things live in our temple, our body, and they have intentions too. They live in our aura. They have intentions too. They get in your mind. They have intentions too. So where are these intentions actually gonna, are they controlling you, or are you controlling it? That's the factor you need to understand when it comes to yourself. But other people, you can try to figure this out too. And the better your empathy is, the better you're able to discern which type of energy is more prevalent at that time. So there's a common way we like to say, I am not the body, right? But that's so off to me because you are not just the body. That's the correct way for me to understand it, because we have so many pieces within our mind. Now, when we say mind, I used to think that mind was the mental space where the ego lies. But for me right now, the mind is everything. It's the mental space, the spiritual space, the physical space, and the astral space, which is the fire, the soul space, right? So that whole thing is the mind. Everything you see in that circle on a picture beside of me, everything you see is a part of the mind. So the mind is so more expansive than we really think of. It's not just our ego. There's so many pieces to it, and this is why I like to get them. This is why I created this in the first place. I recognize the pieces. God gave me this download, big download, over about 6 years to get to this point where I'm able to try to explain it to you. The reason why I do this and the reason why we're here is so I can get the energy of the crown, basically, right? From the crown chakra, Ketha, down to Malkuth. And when I do this, you have a pure connection from who you truly are, the person that you said, I am not the body, right? But who are you referring to? So that's the crown, that's Ketha, that's who you're referring to. You're not the body. But where your position is, where your main perspective is in Ketha, right? So we're trying to get that actual perspective through the pineal gland down to the root chakra. And when you do that, basically your connection to who you truly are is going to start to flourish. Now, this takes a certain level of truth. You have to understand that who you truly are is trying to inhabit you. So the lies that you tell yourself is going to have to leave your vessel in the place of the truth of who you are. So if you feel like you're losing or you're becoming desensitized to the things that you went for, understand that the true you is becoming more prevalent, and now you have to learn who you are now to try to ease and appease that energy, to please that energy. Basically, you are a new person every day, but the evolved you speaks way different and does way different things than a person that you have to let go. Now, one of the heaviest message that it took me a long time to figure out is this. You're not trapped, you're falling, you're just sinking into yourself, your true self. Now imagine one day you said to yourself, I want to become this new person. You've been hearing people like me and other readers and other prevalent people in your life talk and try to bring out the best of you. So the best of you is in place now. Now, as I said before, who you were before is literally leaving your aura. It takes a while, it takes some time, but there's a point, there's a climax point when you really recognize it, right? And once you recognize it, it's not falling into a trap anymore. You're literally, instead of sinking, is moving forward. So now the dynamics is different. Instead of going down, you're moving forward as fast as you can, because you recognize, oh, I'm coming into my true self. Oh, this makes sense now. But once it makes sense, then the fear of not falling can't hold you anymore. So what else is in the way? There's always new levels, new devils. Always. Now, the enemy of this world, the demiurge, knows everything in this dimension, but knows that you are aware of yourself. And now the veil is lifted. You understand that? That since the veil is lifted, I have to, if I'm the enemy, I have to attack you directly and abruptly and with the force that makes you kind of quit, because I can't control you. I have to make you want to stop. So this is why the attacks are like so crazy right now. And yeah, let's move on. Oh, okay. Peace is stable ground. That's a prerequisite to the dream that you're trying to achieve. Imagine balance between light and dark as the ground. As one side is heavy, the ground tilts, and as the other side gets heavier, the ground tilts. So the balance between your darkness and your light must be equal. And when you have that equal ground, your ground is not tilting, it's not shaking, you can build on this peacefully. And that's where the peace comes from. But peace is not growth. Peace brings the stage for evolution. How do you get to your peace? You reach rock bottom, and that's the sturdiest place to be. And when it feels like you can't do anything but rely on yourself, when it feels like you have nobody to rely on, when it feels like nothing that you did before works with other people, when it feels like everybody left you alone, when it feels like, you can keep going on with this analogy, right? But when it feels like you're completely alone, that's when you see yourself. And that's one of the scariest places to be, because the village is necessary, but to see yourself, you need to be so far apart from yourself in order to see the true perspective. Now, you know how they always say it's sinking, right? But if you zoom out on something, let's just say you are all in your light and you don't really know who you are, you just know like pieces of yourself, I'm a good person, all of this yada yada yada. As you move further away from the object becomes more clearer, because you get to see the shell of what it truly is, the fullness of what it is. So this is why we need to sink from that object to see and look up to who we truly are. And then when we see that, the dynamics shift again, and then you start to run to who you truly are. Like, I hope you can understand that, because it was a little confusing. Now, destruction is not evil. When you eat, if it wasn't for destruction, you would not be able to digest the food. You might as well think of destruction as separation, and a bomb is super fast separation. You can correct me if I'm wrong. I think I'm correct. But separation is the key. As you separate those elements that go into your digestive system, it breaks down into the pieces you need in order for it to, rejuvenate the system. So when you feel like you're being broke down, that's the process. So who is getting all of these extracts? The one that you say, I am not the body. That place that you speak from is the one that's getting that essence. Because who you truly are is going to, like, energy cannot be destroyed, it's only transformed. So the energy that you give to your true self is going to be given back to you triple-fold, tenfold, but it's going to be given back to you in a way you'll start to understand it. As you give something, as you let go. Conscious hands. Now, imagine my brain, my mental space, not my spiritual space, my mental space has tentacle-like arms that grab onto things that I love, right? You move for things that you love. You go towards things that you love. Love is movement, right? So I'm going to keep all of these things. Now that's energy. Every time my arm comes out to grab something. A person, I love this person. A thing, I love this thing. A place, a club, I love this club. I like this place, this scenario, this scene. I like being looked at like this. Those are conscious arms that you rely on. And you know, anything that you rely on is basically a religion. But to switch religion around is basically a whole bunch of practices that you enact to change and fix your temple, right? That's just an instruction book. It's all parables, but it's all true about the inside of the body, the inner you, the universe inside you, right? I could keep going forever. Now imagine that this message is crazy. Imagine you made a mistake, right? And there was only creation in this world and not destruction. All of your mistakes have no ability, if you can understand me, no ability to be fixed, because God cannot break down what you did to bring it to the pieces that can be siphoned for other things, right? You understand? Mistakes lead to greatness too. A lot of mistakes lead to greatness and accomplishment and things like that. But it wouldn't be able to do that. Like, there's a blockage there if there wasn't destruction. So don't think of destruction as bad. Destruction is a very prevalent energy in this reading because it feels like you lost everything, right? God is nothing, nowhere, and nobody. This is my motto. Why? Because what do you believe in when you say you have faith? Faith is the belief of nothing, nowhere, and nobody. So when you have, and out of nothing comes everything, comes something. And look at the way the universe was made. Out of that little Planck unit, the universe came to be. Out of nothing, before nothing, came everything. So if those things can happen, when you rely on nothing, the one beyond, to come through for you, not only is your mental space handled, you're not anxious and holding on to everything, you're allowing your spirit to be magnetic towards the things and attract the things that are necessary for you to learn from and to keep and to enjoy and to thrive off of and things like that. But yeah, I'm gonna get on with the reading, but that was the messages. I hope you liked it. And like I said, if you would like a reading with me, we're gonna talk about what the reading consists of. This is the Zin-Finity Board, and it is an elementally energetic grid that flows in a 21-part circuit, housing all aspects of the mind. Remember what I said? The mind is the mental space, the spiritual space, physical, and astral, which is the soul space, right? That's the mind. So it's elementally energetic, and it flows in a 21-part circuit, housing all aspects of the mind in a still life version. This is a universal engine. It's not just a board. So when you think of a grid for cards, this is an engine. When I get that app out, you'll see the engine in motion. So just pray for me and rely on me to run this engine through my mind so you can hear and understand the beauty of it. I'm trying to get you to reach the fullness of yourself, because at the bottom, at Malkuth, is where your kingdom lies. But your crown, the I am in you, is not trapped up here. There's a blockage in your tree of life. So we're going to get down there right now. Starting off with Ayin, the first part of the reading. And this has to do with who, what, when, where, and why of the situation. This is what generates everything. This is the generation, right? So let's look at this. Who involves this? Look at the bigger picture, full moon in Sagittarius, right? And the archetype that came up was the gem. Now, everybody talks about gems and looking at the bigger picture. So what thing are you working for that has, okay, the gem is surrounded by a whole bunch of something. It's almost like a hayfield. It's just a whole bunch of things this gem is surrounded. I hope you can see this. This gem is surrounded by a whole bunch of things. But, you know, the needle in the haystack, all those kind of examples. What are you fighting for? And that's who. So let's get this. Look at the bigger picture. Full moon in Sagittarius. This situation may have come around because you've been distracted. Be confident without being overconfident to win with the day. Win the day, basically. Let me move on. Have you shown that you care? If not, now is the time. Find a balance between speaking your mind and saying too much. Why? Because sometimes you need that blackboard. You need that person. That who is always within you. You can rely on that imagination that comes out. A lot of people don't have that inner voice and vision to see pictures in their mind. When I say a pink zebra with black stripes, do you see a pink zebra in your head, or do you have to just something else? You can't see the pink zebra, but you know what I'm talking about. Do you just understand it, or do you see it? Those are two different visions, and a lot of people don't have that. But the blackboard is you and your best friend talking about something that you like to do in your life. That best friend is going to give you everything they know to the best of their ability, that you have to take with a grain of salt because it's not their perspective, right? They're going to give you everything that they can know. Now, that's the reason for the blackboard. You can bounce ideas off of it. But speaking too much to that who person that you talked about that gym to, when you speak about the wrong thing, well, when you speak to the wrong person, that person is probably going to be jealous of your power and give you bad advice or wrong advice, or just dull advice. It's like not anything that you can really build off of. And you'll notice that that blackboard doesn't bounce anything back. It's almost like it just gets ingested. That's not a person for you. That's a person that's taking from you. That's who. What? This is the what in your life. Meditate and contemplate. Now this is a thing usually, right? What is a manifestation? Now the archetype that came up was the comic. Now what is it about the comic and what you're doing? Now the comic is a professional. The comic is a professional at talking about a situation, getting a point through, and making you laugh at it. Now imagine there's somebody who likes to talk about you in a negative way. A comic can talk about you in use the same facts, the same truth, and get it to be ingested. You can actually, whatever that word is, digest the information, right? You can get the information and you can retain it. But the negativity is different. So what is the manifestation that allows you, like, to use it freely for some reason, to operate it with it freely, to hear the facts, and it doesn't bother you as much because the thing is manifested, so you kind of laugh at the situation. So meditate and contemplate, new moon in Pisces. So face your fears. They may be holding you back. The situation is being healed. It is time to surrender to the divine. Chant Om Namo Narayani. So that's from Hindu. Well, I think that's from the Bhagavad Gita, right? Avoid being deceptive or willingly deceived. Now, what is willing deceit? You understand that there's a possibility. And this is talking about what? For a manifestation, that's a tool that you can use for your abundance. You understand where this is going. Now, deceived willingly is there's a person that's going to take advantage of that, and you know it. But you're trying to say, oh, this is my only choice energy. Not relying on nothing, God, to just bring a miracle out of nowhere. You're having faith on this person and their chances on screwing you over or coming through for you, or just failing at the opportunity or whatever it is. It could be natural, but yeah, willingly deceived is the thing you should really pay attention to. The next is when. When has to do with the time, and this has to do with your mental space. We tick and clock. We tick-tock in our mind. Oh, we have to do this before this time, or I'm a failure. We have to do this before this time, or I'll never get this thing. That's the demon in your mind that keeps going off and off and off and off and off, and telling you what it's projected to be. But time is not real. Mental is a mental projection of what could be. That's our mind, and that's what we see as the future. The future is not here yet. It's only a projection of our current data. That's the future. According to what you know right now, you see how your life is going to turn out. That's the future. There's no such thing as actual future, though. Alright, so when. Everybody wants to know when. The kiss. Now, this could be the kiss of death or the kiss of rejuvenation, of rebirth, or whatever. Now, it says, have faith in your dreams, the waxing crescent moon. Now, I don't really know much about this moon, but basically, it's not all full, but you get to see the full picture like a glimpse. I'm getting glimpse energy. So, have faith in your dreams. that's when it will happen. Just because you can't see your dreams doesn't mean they're not manifesting. Don't look back. Stay focused on moving forward. Remember how I said you think you're falling, you're actually going super speed straight ahead when you realize you're going towards yourself. That moment that you recognize is not falling is actually going very fast. It's a complete difference. Be patient even as events unfold. Dig a little deeper and find more courage. Now, what is digging, falling, understanding the true self? Think of it as a black dot. Well, not really a black dot, but it's a foundation, right, of darkness, the shadow, the inner self, who you truly are. That's all one piece, right? That's where the one piece is, in my opinion. But okay. All right, so that was when. Where is step out of your comfort zone, and this is the destroyer. Now remember everything that I just said about destruction. It is necessary in order to bring in the new thing. The rebirth moment, the phoenix moment, will never be able to happen if there was no destruction. So you can never become new if you don't destroy the old. Destruction is so necessary, and it's not evil. It's just a function that got misled by our mind, thinking that it's a bad thing. No, you need to let go to get more, and that's spiritual. That's energy. Energy is not destroyed, it's only transformed. Transformation, you know how they say we transcend when we die or whatever? We move on to the next part. That's our soul energy moving on. Alright, you get me. I don't need to say it. So step out of your comfort zone. North Node. You are headed for something which feels like destiny. You need to face fear and get it over it. Fear is over here too, with meditate and contemplate with the comic. The fear, you need to laugh at it, because the energy of laughing will let the universe and the demiurge know that is not a way I can conquer you anymore. That is not a way I can be conquered anymore. So therefore, everything at this level I can obtain and hold for my new abundance, and it's mine, is my birthright. That's a part of gaining that level, right? Time to stop obsessing about someone or something. Stand on your own 2 feet, and you got this. Your own 2 feet is relying on yourself and your abilities to the best that you can, because the universe, the nothing, will provide the rest of it, because you're giving everything that you can through yourself. So everything that's over there is like an error space, and the universe has to correct that error, because that's just the way it works. Energy is not there, it has to be there, right? All right, the most important question of all: why am I here? Why am I talking to you about these things? So the archetypes that came out was the ring and the orphan. We all know about orphans, somebody who's been abandoned by the parents. But the parents in this situation is not just parental figures. It has to do with the divine masculine and the divine feminine in your own mind, right? Your own mental scope. Now, orphan is what? If you have a manifestation, or if you have something that you think is going to give you everything out of this world, but your spirit doesn't agree, and your mind doesn't think, or your mental space doesn't think it's possible, cannot project it in a win scenario. So your spirit doesn't give you the energy, you have no energy to do it, and your mind can't see it happening. That is the orphan right now. And that's why maybe you are not called to do that thing. And this is why it's comical, because sometimes, the double-edged sword comes in different scenarios for me. Because let's say you're working in your faults right now, but your fault is a part of your quirk, something that you're good at, but your quirk is being used against you in some kind of way, unknowingly or knowingly. Now, the double-edged sword, when you turn that against the world in this point is basically the demiurge and all of those negative energies that stop you. That's the world, right? So when the world sees that side of the sword, they say, okay, I can't mess with you in the same way. You leveled up. we'll start to understand this. But look, it said your dream need a practical plan, and that's the reason why it's not practical for you. These winning scenarios are not, they're not fit for you. That's not your shoes. You can't wear those shoes. But those are only images that have been put into your mind. You can be this, and you can be this, and you can be this. What did God say I was supposed to do? What is my spirit telling me I need to do? What does my spirit give me energy for? So that's like a hot cold sensor. Your spirit would give you all of the energy to do the thing that you need to be doing. So let's just say, if your mind has to take over and say, oh, I don't think this is good. Well, I think we could do it. It's too many problems in a way. I don't really want to do it right now. That's the loss of ambition. Though not ambition, that's the loss of the energy towards doing the thing. Your mind can't project the end of it. It doesn't have the energy to. But when you do something you like, oh, I want to go to the club. Oh, your mind can project, oh, I'm going to dance with this person. I'm going to do this. I'm going to have some drinks. I'm going to do this. Your mind saw the end result. Your spirit was there for it. But you can also call on that energy, because that's just one outlet. That's one outlet. Going out is an outlet. That's one of them. Now imagine you found the outlet that was your abundance. Where would that energy take you? So that's who, what, when, where, and why the situation. We're going to go into the next part, which is Soph. So it's Ein Soph 4 on the Tree of Life above it. So that's the parts of this reading. Soph. Basically, Soph has to do with the perspectives. All of the eyes that you have. Every perspective that you have is in this place. So we're going to go down real quick. There's I be, I want, I need, I know, I will, I desire, I love, I do, and I think. Is two of them. Is holding that sack, right? On the solar plexus. I do and I think, right? And this is I feel and I am. So you are not just I am. You are also I know. There's a consciousness in you that's named I know. There's a consciousness in you that's named I love. I am is not the only thing. This is why affirmation can go all the way up the scale of the chakras, because there's more designations to which part of your mind you're talking to. So that's why it's important not to just say I am, because I am is only the root chakra. Crazy. You're staying at peace and not growth. This is how they confuse us. They give us all of the information and expect us to just not understand it ever. Now, so happens that my mind was so impressionable to understand this system that God showed me, I'm able to put the information all in one place. And that's another reason for my app. And it's going to be like a web. It'll put everything that you know, and everything that you're going to know, and everything that you've been through in your hands as power. It's going to be crazy. So those are the perspectives. But basically, when it's off suit, this is what's happening. There's energy that's coming from the crown down to the root. Now at each perspective, it can be blocked. And we're going to unblock these channels as we go down to the root. So we're going to start off with the crown chakra, Keter, which is I know. And this is the 10 of Cups. And let's get this really quickly. Inner happiness, fulfillment, and dreams coming true. Now, this is in a place of I be. I be is very important because it's your being, who you're going to be at the beginning and the end of every day. If you did nothing, you would be this person. If you did everything, you would be this person. So that's where your crown is. That's the I be, your being. And the greatest thing and the most powerful thing you can do is be. Because nothing, you are God. You don't have to do anything in this world. You could just sit there and just be yourself. You get it? If I'm going to be myself, I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable on stage. If I'm going to be myself, I'll use my voice to sing the way I want to in my own way. And I'll speak to the crowd the way I want to. I'm myself right now. And the reaction that I will get is a genuine reaction to who I truly am, instead of me, imagine I plagiarize other people's songs and just sing all of these other songs that I didn't create. If I sing a one I created from me, it'll have a different reaction. This is truly from me. And if anybody likes it, they'll be liking who I am, who I be. Yeah, there we go, who I be. Alright, so that's the first energy. The next energy is I want. Now, wanting is different from needing. Needing is a necessity. Wanting is a fantasy, right? Needing has to do with the dream. Wanting has to do with the fantasy. I had to say that again. So, it started out with the Nine of Swords offsuit. And when I plucked the next type of deck, I put 2 decks on it so you can get a clarification. And it won't be just dealing all day. So, the next card that I picked up on it was the 3 of Wands reverse. So it went from the 9 of Swords to the 3 of Wands. Let's get this. So anxiety, hopelessness, and trauma. I listened to this Black King the other day. Literally, I think it was yesterday. He said to me, because he was talking directly to me at this point, anxiety is when the mind keeps running. Thinking too much causes anxiety. And it reconfirmed what I used to say about the mind. The mind is a calculator, and a calculator only. You put the function in and you press enter. Your mind projects to the end. And if you can't find a solution, stop. If you cannot find a solution, stop. But you do have things and ways to better yourself so more solutions are possible. So your mind can be at ease when you rely on yourself to make yourself more valuable in this effort. It's not valuable, but though you understand the word. So it went from 9 of Swords to that anxiety, from that anxiety to the 3 of Wands reversed. Now reverse really doesn't mean much here because the energy is here. It's just a different way of interpreting it, right? It's not offsuit anymore. So let's get it. Now this is obstacles, frustration, and delays. You recognize because of the anxiety. If you drop the anxiety, you'll just realize the obstacle. And if it's an obstacle course, you can be fit to get past it. Now there's a solution because there's a course available. So the plan is here. But in order to enact the plan, you have to be fit. So that's why you were by yourself for so long. So, you see, I'm pointing to myself. That's why you were by yourself for so long. That's why it felt like you couldn't get a leg up for anything. Because if you got a leg up, you would have started going the wrong way. Why? Because you weren't fully there yet. You didn't see the plan yet. Now that you see the plan, take the baby step and see if it works again. There's an experiment that talks about the high wall and the animal trying to get over it. And eventually the animal just stops and they keep lowering the wall. The animals can't get over it. They lower the wall to a point where the animal can get over it and the animal doesn't even go over. So that's where you are right now. And that's the devil's energy trying to be in your life right now. So it only takes that little baby step for you to understand that it was only the training time. Now it's time to go. But it still requires you to have a certain amount of courage to get past that barrier. It's an invisible barrier that you believe. Now it's only a belief. Instead of a real obstacle, it's a belief that's stopping you. Right. So the next energy was I need. This is in Bina. That was Hokmah. This is Bina on the Tree of Life. So it started off with Temperance. Temperance is the Major Arcana. Anytime Major Arcana shows themselves, that these lines that's over here, anytime that they show themselves, it talks about an action, movement, love coming into your life in a certain way. It talks about the love. So yes, all Major Arcana cards are love cards. So 2 love cards came out at the same time, Temperance and the Hangman. So let's get it. So Temperance, middle path, patience, and finding meaning. This is what you need to do. The middle path seems impossible, but your attraction keeps you there at ease. So if you rely on your spirit can only travel that middle path. Everything that you do with your spirit outside of that is up to you. And that's your ego getting out of place, right? Rely on your spirit to be the track. That's what this is. On spiritual track is the way. Attraction is the way. Don't pull these things towards you because it's lugging like the chariot energy. But if you see, the hangman came up next. So let's see. This is sacrifice, release, and martyrdom. And that fixes this energy right here and what you need. You need to release control. That's completely self-explanatory. When you release control, you see this thin line right here, the middle path. Releasing control allows the gravity from holding his leg. I hope you can see this. The gravity is just pulling him in line. And like I said, down is not falling. It's actually going towards now. So when you do that, you'll understand when your energy is being pushed. And your mind is necessary to hash out some of these problems. The spirit can't get you there. The spirit can only provide you the energy to get there. So, yeah. The next energy is the Ace of Wands, and it's on suit. It could be air or fire, and it's fire in this case. And it's the Ace of Wands. Let's get it. This is in the place of I know. Creation, willpower, inspiration, and desire. Now, you know what you desire. That is amazing. Why? Because a lot of people don't know where they're going in their life, but you happen to know where you're going. But since you know where you're going, and the demiurge, the negativity in this world knows where you're going, it's naturally you're going to go in your way because you're so positive and it's so negative. It's just magnetics. It's just math at this point. If you can see it, because you're pushing one way, another way is pushed. Like, it's like every action has an equal and opposite reaction, right? But that creates a space when that happens. And in this space, anything can happen. And that's this dream world. But your space is your own perception of your life. That's your living dream. So this is what you know, and it's very powerful. New lovers, new devils, and you see them trying to line up. And it's funny because if you see the obstacle being made, you can just pre-plan for it. It's almost like you can just phase right through it like it didn't even affect you. You could put the people that put obstacles in front of you in sort of a trap because of that. Because you see it, it's almost like they just wasted their time and energy. And eventually they'll have nothing left to come after you with. Yeah. So that's what you know. What you will. Will is very important. Will. If I say I want to move my arm up and down, the will and the factor is the fact that the energy allowed me to do it. That's the will. The will was the moment of doing it. Doing it is the will. ING is the will. Anything that you do, ING is the will. That's the will attached to it. So willing, doing, skating, riding, jumping. Jump is just a word, right? Jumping. I really hope you can understand that with the will, because it's a little confusing the way it came out. ING is the main part of the will. Anything you do, doing it is the actual action that you need to do. So it's all in potential until you do it. Alright, and this is the world. So let's get this. Fulfillment, harmony, and completion. Now, your inner world, your outer world, they're equal in a sense. So whatever is happening on the inside of you, it'll be projected through your vision, all of your senses. It'll come to you. It'll come towards you because attraction is the factor. The world has all four elements, and that's a balanced way of going after everything. Why? Because being polarized requires a lot of breaks. Being balanced is where the peace lies. So you can kind of build straight up instead of working everywhere else specifically. Instead of working seasonal, you can work year round. That's the kind of energy that's coming right now. And there's less sway. There's less back and forth energy. All right. So the next one is I desire. And then before I said with the Ace of Wands, you already know what you desire. So what is it that you desire? It started off with the Eight of Wands, and this is offsuit because this is fire in a place of where air and water should be. And then it ended off with the Seven of Swords. So let's get the Eight of Wands. This is rapid action, movement, and quick decisions. Now, why is this bad? Because if your spirit is trying to tell you something, sometimes you need to sit with it and not just be so trigger happy off of something that you don't know. It's like a little part of the message. Wait for the whole message. Maybe there's, let's just say every message that you get is one letter to a word. Sometimes you need to wait for the whole word to be spelled out before you move. So for some reason, patience is coming up right now. So Seven of Swords fix this energy. And this is deception, trickery, tactics, and strategy. Now, strategy is very important because you're not being impatient anymore. You're being strategic and strategizing on how you use your space is very important. What is space? Time, space, and money is the same thing. It's basically your ability to live that dream. Your space is your access to your space is your ability to go towards your dream and the dream scope. Like, they are called heartstrings for a reason, but the strings are the mental mind, right? And when you have no strings attached, it's only the things that are attracted to you that get to you. So that's bringing up that same scenario again. So now we need to go to the first part of the bread and butter of this reading, really in the heart space. It started off with the Two of Pentacles, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cards had to come out in order to correct this energy within your heart space. You don't have the time and money and energy and anything available to go after your dreams. It started off with the Two of Pentacles. Let's see. Balancing decisions, priorities, and adapting to change. Now, if you keep adapting to other people's way that they change about how they're going to benefit you, right? I can do this for you one day, but I can't do this for you the other day. I need more consistency so that won't work for me. And that's balancing what other people can do for me. So what can you do for yourself? It's reliance on other things, other people, right? The first energy that came out was Wheel of Fortune. And Wheel of Fortune came out. Did it come out? Oh, I thought it came out, but it didn't. I thought I saw it. But the Wheel of Fortune in this area talks about how the ego thinks everything that changes is fortunate. Oh, they can do this for me now, so I'm going to wait for them to do it. Oh, this can happen for me now, so I'm going to wait for it to do it. It's fortunate with being patient with things that might not benefit. So you have time in this world. Time is the ultimate currency. It's the biggest energy in this world. Authenticity comes next, but time is the ultimate energy, currency, and everything. It's the ultimate factor. If you do not have your time, you don't have anything. Next energy that came up is the Seven of Pentacles. So let's get this. Hard work, perseverance, and diligence. Now, this is the recognition of all the time it's going to take, so you think, to be that new, or to develop that thing, or to manifest that tool that's going to get you there. You believe that it's going to take a lot of time, so it will. You understand? You're the God of your life. Whatever you believe comes true. So if you choose not to believe it and fake it till you make it, you understand what I mean? Because it's fake to you right now that it's gonna happen right now. It's fake to you. That's fake. That's completely fake. That's not gonna happen tomorrow. What do you mean it's gonna happen tomorrow? I don't believe that. Fake it. Fake it. Fake it like it's gonna be here tomorrow. And keep doing it until that energy of faking becomes real. Because it happened for me. I was faking it until the point where I became a person that can yap for so long and also be empowering you at the same time. With my ego, I get hype off of telling you about your power and the best of what you can be. That's what this is about. But let me move on. It went from there to temperance. Now, temperance is right here. It came up before in what you need, right? That was also off suit. So this is still off suit. Temperance is fire energy, and this needs to be air. Why? Well, it supports it. Fire and air supports each other, but there's no growth here. It's more like figuring things out and understanding, and a little passion towards what you need to be temperate about. Temperate is basically the balance on this scale. Like, you need to keep it up. That's the diligence of it. So yeah, let's get temperance again. Middle path, finding patience and finding meaning. You had to find the meaning behind why you were waiting. And as I said before, the meaning was it would benefit you in the future, and that's why you are waiting for it to happen. You are time. You are the controller of your time. So anything that you wait for is taking time. Go towards it. Don't even wait. And basically, this is what ended. Or sorry. Let's keep moving. And went from there to the Ace of Cups. New feelings, spirituality, and intuition. So you have the Ace of Wands and the Ace of Cups coming out. This is more online of what it needs to be, but it's opposite of water. It's parallel to it. It's the emotional state of what you think is going to happen. It's more like, this is the fake energy. This is that energy of that fakeness that you need to switch the energy in your favor. And it's coming straight from God. God is making you believe in the impossible right now. Just accept it. Just accept those dreams and miracles that can happen. Yeah, it's going to happen tomorrow. Yes. Say it out loud. The reason why you have to say it out loud, how many times did you say negative things out loud to yourself? You have to train yourself to hear the good things too and accept it. It's a training process. So fake it. Went from there to the Page of Cups. Watch this. Emotional immaturity, insecurity, and disappointment. Now, the reason why you're disappointed is because you recognize the truth hurts. The truth is, you could have went towards it sooner had you believed in yourself. But you needed time to see who you are. You needed to think more, to see from a farther perspective, in order to go after yourself again, in order to see why you came here again. It's a phoenix moment for why that was happening right now. So what completed this energy is the Queen of Swords reverse. And this is cold heart, cruel, and bitterness. Why? Because imagine how hard it is, the loving spirit that you have to kind of let everything go. You held on to what you thought and what you might know as good relationships, as good friendships, as good anything, good items, a good car. But it might have been taken away from you in a way that you didn't know in the long run would have done something detrimental to the point there's no going back, right? The point of no return. So you need a break from these things, even the good things. If they're your friends, they will be your friends when you get back. Don't worry about it. So that's what fixed that energy. Now the next energy was I do and I will. That was I love. The next energy is I do and I think. Sorry. Now it started off with the Six of Cups and then it ended with the Six of Wands. So 6-6 energy right here. 666 is the carbon code. It has nothing to do with anything evil. They want to make you believe that your temple is evil. So everything that has a code inside of you, oh, it's evil, don't look at that. Oh, that's crazy, that's demonic. Yeah, don't do that. Don't ever learn about the fullness of yourself. Don't ever do that. No. That's what they're telling you at the end of the day. And you become cold-hearted to that. You become cold-hearted with this Queen of Wands reverse. Cold-hearted to that energy that kept you down. Why? Regret is necessary. Why? Because it's a place and it's a thing that you would never do again. Imagine you would never cheat again, right? God will bring you a person that needs that. And the scale of what you're looking for, that person probably reaches 20 on a scale of 10 to you. but that person needed you to have that regret. You might have did it before, or you might not have. It might have been done to you, and you understand the ferocity and the rage that comes behind it. So you're a person that will never go past that boundary, and that's a boundary that can't be passed between both of y'all and the world. That's a powerful couple. God needs y'all to be together to do something. Imagine you are God, and then your partner is another God. But your see, look at that. Your partner on the other side of energetics, you know, if it's a male and female relationship, doesn't matter because it's energy. But that's the other side of God. That's the 69, right? That's the puzzle piece. So with two or more gathered in his name, her name, it don't matter. It's a it to me at this point. I don't care. I do not care. I just know that its presence is here and I appreciate it, right? Creator, whichever one. Divine Mother, universe, whichever highest word, authority that you can call on. That's the one I know that's there. It doesn't matter what the name is. The fact that I can feel it is enough for me. So I don't even know if I did it. The Six of Cups. This is familiarity, happy memories, and healing. Now, this is in the place where it should be fire, but it was off suit at first, right? Now, 6 then the 6. What happened after that? Let's see. 6 of Wands is victory, success, and public reward. Now, public is something that's in your kingdom, something that's in your outside world. Your mind is literally operating with your aura in your outside world. So imagine if your mind, the calculator, had more functions to use. So the public reward, your mind now has new things to project with. Because it's not time, it's a projection of what you think it's going to be. It's not time. Your mind has greater ability to hash out the problems to get to the victory in imagination, in fantasy, right? Because the dream is to get there, but the fantasy, you got to build that. So the Six of Cups was happy memories and healing. Healing off of how much energy and effort you put into going the wrong way. Energy and healing to the effort that you put to figuring it out, to hashing it out, to accept being in that one spot for so long. It's almost like you going la la land. Okay, God, you want me to be in this place? I'm just gonna stop. I'm just gonna stop, because that's literally what I've been through. I said, okay, everything was being taken away from me. The things that I have now are completely different. My life is completely changed from the last time that I've been and I had this reading. Completely changed. And this is what happened with it. Victory, success, and public reward. How is my speech changing now? What does it mean for you now? Who am I able to reach now? How many people can I give this information to that empowers them? We're going to find out, because I'm going to be here. We're going to find it out. The next energy is in my chakra, which is the Sacral chakra. Now this is your side on the Tree of Life, and this is I Feel. So it started off with the Empress. Empress is a great card. Empress is a great card. You know that ring? If you like it and you should have put a ring on it. Imagine you being the mental mind, like the mental part of the mind, putting a ring on your spirit. Protection. I'm going to protect that energy. I'm going to protect that toroidal energy. So you can, if you understood what I meant, because I was very sciencey, toroidal energy is basically like, imagine a ball of energy in magnetics. That's a toroidal energy. Now imagine a ring, like a sonic ring outside of it. That's the Empress. That's the thing that covers that energy. So that's the acknowledgement that God gave me. That's what discernment that God gave me. So that's what the Empress does. It's about that hedge of protection. So I went from there, but this is what you feel. You feel like you don't have the protection. Let's see the Empress real quick. Beauty, fertility, nurturing, luxury, and creativity. These are the things that you think that you do not have, that you feel that you do not have. What is the difference between a feeling and an emotion? Emotions are all potential, but the potential within you to do something, to actually emote, right? The emotions are here, but emoting is feelings. So the action of expressing the emotion is feelings. So feelings are expressed, emotions are in potential. So when you see somebody, you say you are very emotional. No, you're looking at their feelings. You feel a kind of way is the more correct thing to say, because you can't see their emotions unless they tell you about it. Next energy is the 9 of Pentacles. So fruits of labor, reckless spending, and rewards. This is why you're spending so much. Spending is in different realms. There's physical spending, spiritual spending. You go out to the club too much. You go out, wine and spirits, right? You drink a lot, and it activates a part of your spirit that don't need to be there at that moment. Next thing you know, you need your mind. Your mind is clouded because you have too much spirit. There's also spiritual overload too. So when they say that you're acting like somebody else, yeah, because your spirit has the same effect like ego. Like when you think that you're too much in your ego, you're too much in your spirit too. That is so backwards the way to hear it, but it's wine and spirits for a reason. What are you drinking to get? What's happening to your body? Who's inhabiting you? A lot of people can't hide their spirit. So sometimes it's good to see people drunk. If you see somebody acting towards you completely different when they're drunk compared to when they're conscious, you should think about that, because that's their spirit and they can't hide that. And went from there to the 2 of Wands. The 3 of Wands is over here. The 6 of Wands, 2 of Wands, Ace of Wands. So it's a lot of Wand energy, getting it done energy. But the 2 of Wands, let's see. Planning, making decisions, and leaving home. This energy is still off suit because you're leaving home. You're allowing somebody else's comfort to be the thing that guides you. So if you're trying to please somebody all the time, if they're not satisfied, if they're not at balance, if they don't love themselves, they can't offer you stability. So if you're relying on them and not yourself, that's basically trying to build on an earthquake. You can't do that. It's just not possible. Moving on from there is the energy fits. It's the 7 of Wands. Perseverance, taking defense, and maintaining control. There's a fight between your ego and your spirit to figure out which way to go. Why? Because your projection of what things should be or what they can be doesn't match what the spirit knows that God showed you. Because your spirit can hear that information. Your spirit knows it, right? The Divine Mother sees that, the fullness of what you can become, because you're her child. Next energy up, more Wands. This is the 9 of Wands. Well, 8 of Wands. And this is, so it went from 7 to 8. That's crazy. This is rapid action, movement, and quick decisions. More quick decisions. Less patience. You're getting antsy. You're getting anxious. You think you're running out of time. You can't run out of God. You are God. You have the time. This is your story. Your story was written this way. And you are also the narrator who can write it differently. The projection. Right? The next energy, still not on suit, still not completed with your feelings, the things that you actually express, is the 5 of Swords. Unbridled ambition and winning at all costs. Sneakiness. Now, you can't sneak past your training. You can't fake past your training. You can fake your, like, the energy of abundance that's coming towards you. But what you need to do to hash out those problems, to get that baggage handled, to unload that baggage, what's inside of your baggage, inside of that luggage, is your power. And when you unpack it, you get your power back. Next energy, and what finished it, was the Death card. And the Death card came out also over here in Malkuth, right? So let's get it real quick. The end of a cycle, change, and metamorphosis. Why? The Death card is a water card. I call this the skeleton warrior. You cannot make this person bleed. And that's who you are now. Bleeding is of the heart. You cannot make this person do something that they do not want to do. And if you try to break them, it's like they have an exoskeleton. You understand? You got to get past the hard shell first. But that hard shell is built by boundaries that you can't cross should the person let you. So it's all in your power now. Your feelings. You understand it. It's death. Remember the cold-heartedness to the lies? Now it's death to the lies too. The next and last energy, as we come down to the root, now your crown energy is at the root, right? Is Malkuth. Is death. The last energy is I am. That was I feel. This is I am. And it started off with death. And this is death reversed. So let's get it. Fear of change, holding on, and stagnation and decay. Now, the difference between this is they're getting to you, but you understand what needs to be done, right? These manifestations lack in strength. These manifestations need to go. Death to the lies means also death to the tools that you no longer need. Death to the places that you don't need to go anymore. And it ended off with the Four of Pentacles. Let's get this. Conservation, security, and frugality. Why is that important? Because what's yours is yours, and what's in your kingdom is for your kingdom. You can have a partner that's within your kingdom and they can use your abundance. But the thing is, Methuselah and the dude with the hair. Oh God. But you know that story in the Bible. Dude had long hair and that was his power, but nobody knew it. But once the partner knew about it, she told the authorities, and the authorities came and cut his hair off. And then now he had no power. I forgot his name, but that's what could happen. But since you have death to all the lies, the people that will come to you now are the people that clearly understood it, been through it, and all the things like that. They are God been swiping left and right on people that weren't for you or for you. So God finally swiped right, and it's a match, to put that way, right? You found your match. But these are your tools. The match between the tools, the match between the places, and things that you need to do. You got the plan. So, right. The next part of the reading is Or. So you have Ein Sof 4 on the Tree of Life. The last part is Or. What is this all about? Now, this is about how. I went through who, what, when, where, why, and all the I's of perspectives, right? Now it's how. This is how you get mechanical, right? This is what you can do and how you can operate to get that abundance. And this is how it happens. You experiment with the earth. You express with the water. You integrate with the fire. You transcend with the air. And then at the top over here with the ether, you ascend, right? So we're going to pull oracle cards and start talking about them. One of these cards was leaving home on the Sacral Chakra, right? That's how you feel. You feel like your home was with somebody else. And the first card to come out with what you need to experiment with is the home. Crazy. We're going to get the explanations a little bit, but let's just keep going. The home energy is actually nuts. So I'm going to do it like this. Time and shadow. The divine loves for me to talk about the shadow now. Loves. Because the divine knows I understand it. The shadow is your inner child. Now, how many people think that they're not a child anymore? You are God and you are timeless. So the moment that you came here, that imprintation is everlasting. That's the inner child. That's the forever young part of you. That's the one that you get everything from. When you were a child, how free were you? You feel me? A lot of people don't get the chance to be free, but you understand what I mean. You can see it from the outside perspective. You see how these kids just running around yelling and screaming and doing everything that they can't be harmed. That's God. That's your connection to it. The inner child know what's up. They know what they came here for. They know. It's fearless. And time with the emotions. Sorry, time with the feelings. Give it time. I don't know why I picked this. Knowledge. Being teachable. And that's how you transcend. That's how you level up. Listening more. You have 2 ears for a reason. Sound is everywhere. And the crazy thing is right here, shadow is 43, knowledge is 34, and they both 7. That's crazy. And I remember the 7 came out right here, and the 7 came out somewhere else. I forgot. But and trust. And that's how you ascend. Or yeah, that's how you evolve. So let's talk about this really quickly. In the place of experimentation, what you can do physically, right, with your tools and all this other stuff, is the energy of home. The morning star is the brightest star on the dawn's horizon. It is considered an important spirit and honored by Kachina by most... whatever. You are being guided to come back to home, to who you truly are. Drawing this card can signal change in your physical home or sense of where you belong. Pulling this card also symbolizes that wherever or whatever your situation is, you can trust that this moment is in alignment with your highest good, right? Highest self. So the home that you're creating, these are the parts of your home. That's your inner house. These 5 parts right here. Consider it the court. The court in a castle. And my favorite example is the castle kingdom and the flag when it comes up to the table, what you bring to the table. There's a kingdom and a queendom. Inside the castle is the queendom. Outside the castle is the kingdom. The castle walls is basically the union between you two, and you keep the walls up so that nothing gets inside the queendom. You understand? The kingdom has domains and is conquered by the queendom, right? And then it fuels and brings all the good stuff back to the castle. You understand where this is going? You have places energetically, and those have roles. The feminine energy is an invisible energy. You cannot see feminine energy at work. You can feel it. That's the feelings, and that's the knowledge in the space. That's the space, right? Space and feelings has to do with the feminine side of all things, right? The space and the feelings to do stuff. So there's a difference. There's a complete difference, and you can understand that this is more nurturing. So the next energy is time, and this is on expression. How can you express? Divine timing is everything. You are not stuck or heading in the wrong direction. Let me put this way. Drawing the hourglass asks you to have patience with whatever your current situation is. All will come to pass when the moment is just right. This card can also indicate that something you are waiting for is just on the horizon. The horizon has to do with the morning star that was in the home right here. Look up the morning star. It'll take you for a trip. Right? So, and the crazy thing, there's a time for the feelings, and then if you go like this, there's a new time for new feelings. And then when that finishes, as you level up, you'll have different feelings towards your current condition. Your current condition might not feel like a lot in time, because now you know yourself. And we're going to talk about the shadow, your true self, right? We're going to talk about it right now. So shadow is 43, which is 7 in gematria or whatever. What's hiding in the dark? What is that you're afraid of and don't want to see? The card comes to tell you that all cannot be in the light because there must be a balance. All cannot be in the light because there must be a balance. Everything that you see with your senses, right, is of the light. Everything that you interpret from within yourself is like your sense of the dark within you, right? So it's 2 ways the senses are coming. And the shadow gets all those senses. The shadow knows the emotions. The shadow is like the log of data. Everything that you've been through, it remembers, it retains it. It has access to it. but as data. And when you're triggered, that data is reenacted like it's in the present time, because time is not real. You bring the data back up to the current time, and it's like you're living it over again. But a lot of people don't have discernment to say, I've been through that already, and now I'm more equipped to get past this hurdle. Right. So that is how you integrate. Well, this is what you need to do to integrate your shadow into your life. You need to understand the potential of things and what it was, and understand that it's your inner child. It's not something to be afraid of. And that's what the world wants you to be afraid of, your shadow. Shadow just sounds bad. Even this card right here, they got it looking like a demon. So everywhere they try to get us to not look at it like it's a part of us. You are not the body. You are not just a shadow. You are not just the mind. It's all pieces of you. All pieces of you must be honored. And it brings us to knowledge, the reverse of shadow, right? 3-4 and 4-3, right? So knowledge, my favorite, remain teachable. There is new wisdom available to you at this time. This card can signify more information before proceeding. Remember how you need to wait instead of being trigger happy. So it's talking about the trigger happy between what you attach yourself to. Oh, that might be a good thing, but you might need to wait a little bit. You might need to look at it to see how it ends before you start over with it again. Don't jump right in the middle of it. You need to see the whole process. You need to see exactly how it works. This is when the discernment kicks in. And you won't feel like you're being patient when you're studying. That's an action, like you're doing something. It won't feel so treacherous and so tedious. Right, so that's how you transcend. Transcending is leveling up. You level up with knowledge. How you evolve, how you ascend, right, is trust. Now, trust is 16, which is also another 7. So 777. Crazy. Let me make this up. Alright, so trust. Step into the unknown. All may not be revealed at this time. Trust in unseen forces. Meditate on this to let go of all attachments or possibilities. Free yourself from dharma and increase your trust in guides and the universe. Now, the unseen is 2 unseens. The divine feminine and the nothing that I call God. When you see nothing, when you believe in nothing, you have ultimate faith. Because God is going to make it possible, right? God makes all things possible. And it's a part of your magic. See? That's it right there. It's a part of your magic. You won't even understand. It brings you so much success. The trust. I realized I was about to end off without giving you your animal spirits. Now, I'm going to just put the animal spirits on top of these so we can kind of get the idea. Okay, this one. In your home, the animal spirit is the fish. And you understand what fish is. Can you be baited? What is your bait? What is the thing that would get you outside of yourself? Concentrate on that. Now, this is the frog. It came reverse, so it's not like you're jumping over. You're diving and coming back up. You're diving and coming back up. Diving into what? Yourself. Into that dungeon you call the mind, right? That dungeon you call yourself. Going within yourself is a specific action. It requires a lot of faith, courage. And on top of shadow, you have crocodile. Now, crocodile's upside down too, but I don't really get that part. Basically, these creatures lie in wait. Your shadow was waiting for the opportunity to take precedence. Your shadow was waiting for the opportunity to get close enough. Drifting closer to the goal, to the hunt. It's almost like your shadow knew exactly who was coming after you and then waited for you to use its power to protect yourself. And if the protection wind up hurting somebody, honest protection, that means that they were taking advantage of you in a way that you ain't even know. Because at the end of the day, if you're a righteous person, and you see somebody protecting themselves, you'll back away. It will never hurt you. You're like, okay, this person has to do something, and I can't be a part of it. So the next energy is the Panther, and this is knowledge. Black Panther. Panthers are everything. What is the significance of a panther to you? Green eyes. You know how they say jealousy? The green-eyed monster that seeks to destroy all. I don't know why that came up. I don't know why, but I guess that was the message for you. So the next card. Nah, I don't like that one. Okay. Why didn't I like it? Because it was the eagle. The highest perspective is usually known as the eagle. The ram, Capricorn, the goat, is on the highest perspective of the mountain, of the earth, right? Eagle is the highest perspective for the birds, the air, the mental space. So your highest mental knowledge, where you're at the most peace, is where you're able to trust. You are able to trust in what you know now. That's the animal spirit that's calling into your knowledge right now. So if you've been seeing birds, that was the confirmation in the message. Your knowledge is viable. Your knowledge can be used. Your knowledge can get you there. And knowledge is a prerequisite to power. Knowledge is not power. You have to put the knowledge in the place of your skills and use that as power. Because knowledge is just words and data. The data is used in a way for calculation, right? But that's a power after you put it into play. So yeah. Alright. So that was the end of the reading, and I hope you appreciate it. If you would like a reading in an alchemical way, my email is in the description below. Understand that I will not reach out, so I'll just let y'all know that in the beginning. I do not reach out. So if somebody reaches out to you with this, they probably can't, but still, it's not me. My readings will be a video, and if it's not that, it's not me. But moving on from there, I'm creating this. The reason why I created this channel is not only to expose the universal engine that I created, but also to create an app so you can use it for yourself. And all the readers that you know and love, imagine them in my seat, in my position, on an app, hearing and using this information, this tool I created to give you a better explanation of who you are. Imagine that. So this is what I fight for. This is what I wake up in the morning for. And this is what God moved everything out of my way for. So I'll do it. I'll be here. I'm Kai-Fi. I hope that was clear. And I appreciate you. Love you to death. I'm Kai-Fi. Peace.